So we all think we can be Formula One drivers, right? I mean, we see Sergio Perez in the Red Bull not performing so well, and everyone sits at home thinking, I could do that. But the question is, can you really? Today, we picked literally the most average driver on the planet to jump into a professional racing car for the first time. Oh, Apex is baby! I'm gonna die. I am gonna die in that corner. Taking it to where every F1 driver begins, in competitive karting. So how else are we going to see how we perform other than up against an Australian karting racer, my good friend Dom Economy.
Hey mate, how are you?
Welcome Dom. So what have we got today?
So today we're driving the Saudi RS3 from 2023, thanks to the PROKARTS racing team. First going to professional go-kart, so let's see how you go.
Yeah, look, the real question is, how much will this actually correlate to F1 skill? Because surely if I beat you today, that means I could be an F1 driver, right?
Well, not really. So today you're going to be feeling the effects of G-force for the first time. Just push as hard as you can and let's see what you can do.
So you're telling me even if I do beat you today, I couldn't become a professional F1 driver?
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Oh my God, guys, did you hear that? If we win today in this kart here, we can become a professional F1 driver. Let's see if we can beat Sergio Perez. And if I can do it, you can too. Let's jump in there and see how we go. Okay, so let's be real for a second. This video is a little bit of a piss take because as we all know, we couldn't be Formula One drivers off the bat. For example, all I've done so far is sit behind a screen and commentate and judge F1 drivers for my living. But you know what? I really couldn't do any better than they could. And I know a lot of us sit back behind the screen and think this is pretty damn easy. You just got to drive a car. First, we obviously have to mention the physical attributes of an F1 driver. Driving an F1 car is ridiculously hard. Probably couldn't even hit 40% brake pressure myself, and most of you would be much the same. F1 drivers are top tier athletes, as covered in many videos of mine, and that doesn't even mention actual skill and talent that would correlate into being an F1 driver. So for the sake of this video, we're trying to see if we have what it takes potentially to be an F1 driver. In theory, if we win today against this professional karter, then maybe we could do professional karting well. And you know, since I've never driven it before, that would show you a sign of talent, right? I know, it's a bit of a stretch. So how is this gonna go, you might be asking? Well, to start off, I need to get used to the kart, but how am I gonna do that without knowing how it goes first? So our friend Dom here is gonna take to the track first, and then he's gonna set the benchmark that we have to try and beat before we go out there and see how we go for our very first time in a kart. But of course, I'm not ready to go just yet. Time to get suited up. So we've got the kart, but the next thing we need, let's get suited up. Whoa. Let's cook. But before we go out there, we have to see what the benchmark is, as we're going to see the professional himself go out there and set a time. So best of luck to you, my friend. Please don't be too quick. Oh my God, that looks so sketchy. This is a bit treacherous. Just for context, you see what we're dealing with here? Watch him as he comes past. He's gonna brake really early and it's still gonna slide. Look at that. It moves. It does move. I'm gonna die. I am gonna die in that corner. Look how twitchy he is on the exit there. So he's properly kicking it in. How am I gonna do this? I'm so screwed. The first thing he said was there's no grip. I can do it. I can do this. I can do this. It's fine. It's so fine. It's so fine. Mate, if this is what it's like here, what about F1? Well, I can tell you, Ethan. What about F1? Well, the speed is about 3 times this, plus some. The G-forces are definitely also 3 times this, plus some. Like, even though I was experiencing a little bit of G-force in this car, it's nothing compared to Formula 1. Even other racing categories are nowhere near the physical aspect of Formula 1. So, Formula 1 cars at some tracks max over 350 kilometers per hour. These karts do about 110, 115, 120. And, of course, the brake pressure was 100% achievable. Also, another thing to add, and no disrespect to Dom, because he's an incredible kart racer, but if we put an F1 driver, and because of the concept of this video, we're kind of looking at Sergio Perez as our benchmark, because that's who everyone says that they could do better than, especially in a Red Bull, right? If we put Sergio Perez in this go-kart today, he would be absolutely miles clear of everyone, like including Dom. So if we beat Dom, obviously there's still no real chance of us being an F1 driver. So do keep that in mind, okay? The difference between karting, single-seaters, all the way to F1 is ridiculous, because you've got to also think about the fact that these F1 drivers have been doing this karting since the age of 6. I'm 19. Do you see a dry line forming? Because I don't. I'm gonna die. We're coming in now, boys. I mean, that looked pretty fast to me, but it doesn't count until we see the data. Our finish line over there, 1 lap all the way around. There's no grip. There is no grip. I'm dead. Redemption day for Ethan Fleetwood. Okay, yeah, that was pretty damn quick. What did it feel like out on track?
No grip at all. Obviously not the best track going around, and there's no rubber down, and track's a bit wet.
Yeah, we don't have intermediate tyres here, obviously, because it's not F1. That's the advantage. That's why I'm slower than Perez, all right? When you see it happen.
It'll be interesting to see how you go out there.
Is there a racing line? What's happening here?
When it's that wet, you just stick to the rubber, that's it. So best of luck.
It's now or never. It's time to get out there. I've never driven a proper go-kart before in my life, but this is a little bit quicker than that. So let's get out there. We're gonna do a few warm-up laps now because, you know, I need a little bit of practice. But then before you know it, we'll be pushing flat out. So let's go out there and see my first impressions of driving a real go-kart. Let's see what we can do. Yeah. I have to do this up. This is really cool, isn't it? I bet it looks sick. Fuck. Let's cook, baby! Oh my God. Holy shit! The fucking moves, man. Oh, and the turn is actually alright, man. Oh my God! Let's go! Alright, so note to self, wake a bit earlier. So this is pretty fucking sick. We're gonna bring it back around. That was pretty fucking cool. That was actually the craziest thing I've ever done. Oh my God. All right, so I just want to add a little bit of context here, by the way. So this obviously first time on track, and it was quite a damn track at this point, as I have pointed out in the video itself. But honestly, coming up to speed, I was going quite slow because this is my kart. I didn't want to crash it. So I was making sure I found the limit very carefully. I didn't even really find the limit, to be honest, because I didn't want to fuck up. However, the progression from me jumping into the kart for the first time and moving through and actually finding a little bit of pace was actually pretty surprising to me. Obviously, I was still a fair bit off of Dom's pace himself, but from just my racing knowledge from being a spectator of F1, as you guys are yourselves, I was actually quite surprised. Like, I've done a few times in the higher karts, so I've got a little bit of experience, but my racing knowledge actually did help out quite a fair bit when it came to coming up to speed in this car. Now, I'm not trying to say that that means I'm going to be an F1 driver, because, well, it won't. Because believe it or not, guys, every F1 driver, or literally anyone else who does compete in motorsport, is a fan themselves, so they would have just the same knowledge. So while it is easy to sit there and say, well, I know what to do so I can do it, it's a completely different thing. Knowing and doing it while they are helping each other out, they go hand in hand. Believe it or not, just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you can actually do it. Same goes with a lot of things in life, and this is just one of them, and especially so because it's a physical aspect, it's a sport, and as we've stated already, it's a physical sport. If you're not strong enough to handle it, fit enough to handle it, all these things like endurance racing as well. Races go for 2 hours. I was on track for 5.5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes, 15 in total probably. When you hit the throttle on on the exit of the bank sort of turn. Outrageous. Never experienced that before in my life. How do you think I went on my few warm-up laps?
Good. I mean, I said you had some pace off the bat, so I was pretty impressed. So I'll be interested to see the lap times.
So that was actually crazy. I have never experienced, it felt unreal. Obviously it was quite twitchy, a little bit wet. When you're exiting the long corner there and you're pushing on the throttle, there was like one time where I pushed a little bit more than usual. Obviously I was able to because, well, it has the ability to, but it was just like, holy crap, I could genuinely just fly off the edge. We had a few spins too down here because I was, how late can I brake? How much can I turn in? Evidently, I broke way too late. Couldn't get it turned in enough, but that was pretty cool. Now, of course, we do need to try and, yeah, set a proper time. The track's starting to dry up a little bit. So Dom is gonna come back through now and he's gonna set a few more laps because you know what, the first ones weren't quick enough. We're only 4 seconds or so down already. Let's see what he does. Out you go, my friend. Good luck, mate. I really hope he doesn't do well because I need a win. I'm trying to prove that I could be a Formula One driver. And if I can't even win in karting, what chance do I have? He's pushing so hard. My. Yeah, he's going pretty quick. This right here is going to set the benchmark. So where's he braking? At the tyre? Huh. There's actually a little bit of a dry line forming just through here. So with any luck, I might actually have him because I'm going last. I swear, I do believe that. This is the benchmark. So he's braking at the tyre. The problem is, I don't know how much I can actually push on the brakes. So obviously, like, I'm easing onto it, but how hard can I really push? Because he's braking at the tyre, I don't know how. There he goes, the kart man himself. Let's see what we have to beat. So, Dom, that was pretty quick. Bit of a dry line forming now.
Yeah, a lot easier.
I might be in for a chance here. So then, what time have we got to beat?
You've got a 30.5.
30.5.
All right, mate, let's go.
Easy, easy, we've got this, come on, hype myself up. 30.5, 30.5, are you mad? Oh, it's meant to go under my thing. How did I go on my first little practice run?
Pretty impressed.
Pretty impressed.
For your first time, couple of spins, but that's pretty normal. So,
yeah, we forget about that. They won't make the cut, it's fine, I'll get rid of those. Yeah. When we're braking here, when I made my couple of spins.
You wouldn't want to hit 100%.
No, okay, yeah, don't do that.
You'll lock your axle up and you'll spin. But there is a little bit of water on the track.
It's now or never. The chance for me to prove that you, and me because me, can become a Formula One driver. Wish me the best of luck.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it. All right, let's cook. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to push. Let's go. That wasn't so good. I got distracted, I swear! That was it, guys. Oh, it was going well. until I wasn't. We hopped then, guys. I was kind of fast, I think. How do I do the fucking helmet? I'm not very intelligent. The inside of the visor was pretty foggy, and so I was like low-key struggling to see.
Drying up.
It is drying up. Yeah, quite happy about that. Maybe that gives me an edge. So then we finished our lap. It felt okay. I mean, I was able to push more than when I was practicing, but with only a set amount of laps, we managed a decent lap time. Your lap time was rapid.
30.5.
30.5. But how did I do?
Did a 34.6.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with that.
Pretty good. Yeah, for your first time, that's actually pretty quick, so I'm very impressed.
Okay, so can you believe it? We didn't win. Not a single person is shocked. And when you look at it, you might think, oh, it's only 2.3 seconds, but that's over a 30-second lap, so that's actually quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. Sure, if I had a bit more confidence and it was my kart, or I was at a track where I thought I was able to push the limits, because you know what, this track was a little bit sketchy. I might have been able to find more time, but realistically, well, I've never done it before, so why would I be able to do it? And maybe that's something you guys should think about too, if you think you could be an F1 driver. And now, I know what a lot of people are thinking when they say I could be an F1 driver too, because we've got to take into consideration the fact that it's like, if I had done what you had done, or had the opportunities that you had when you were a child and come all the way through, then I could be an F1 driver. So like, in that sense, then maybe yes, you could have been an F1 driver if you had the same situation, but believe it or not, that's unfortunately not how the world works. I wish it was, just it's not. Because a lot of the time we're talking about people like even Lance Stroll gets a lot of criticism because his dad bought his way into the sport, which, I mean, to be fair, is kind of true in some aspects, because you get given opportunities that you pay for. You have to make the most of these opportunities, so fair dues when that comes around. The financial aspect is a big thing, and it's even there from the very start. As we find with karting, people think that karting, okay, it's pretty much a like-for-like spec sport where there's not much of a difference between the karts, but there is. There is. I mean, obviously you have to buy a kart that is new, keep the parts going, tires. So if you're able to fund new tires every single race or even every session, you're gonna be clear. The mechanics you have along with you as well, the small things do matter. Getting sponsors in from early days, there is a lot of money in it from even a junior level, and we find drivers like such as Daniel Ricciardo and many others who seemingly come from not a lot of money in the F1 world, but when you actually look into it, a few millions were spent just to get them through karting. So hey, who am I to judge? But at the end of the day, could I be an F1 driver? Well, right now, no. Could I be an F1 driver if I tried from when I was younger? Probably also no. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good representative for the average F1 fan, so putting me in the kart was a good test, shall we say. I'm a firm believer in the scientific method, and today it has proven that I cannot be an F1 driver.
So you've done pretty well for your first time. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed.
I didn't beat you. So, okay, I can't become an F1 driver, but do you reckon there's a pretty decent correlation between this and single-seaters, or is it a little bit
well, you got to work your way up the ranks. I mean, learning how to drive these things is very difficult, and you've got to keep winning state titles, you've got to win nationals, you've got to do all that stuff, and then work your way up to single-seaters, and then you've got to work your way up to Formula Ford, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then Formula 1. So there's a lot to it. That's why these kids start when they're, you know, 3 or 4 years old.
That's the thing, is it's grassroots, and even karting costs you a lot of money. Like, people think that it's still the same. No, money's there from the very beginning. So I think my karting and racing career is over, but I'm happy with how we went. Look, at the end of the day, can I be a Formula 1 driver? Definitely no, because I'm already older than Oliver Behrman and a lot of drivers. That kind of ends my career. So that kind of does it, I guess. Here's all the proof you need to say that you couldn't be an F1 driver, unless of course you're sat at home and you are racing from a young age and you actually do have what it takes. Well, I'm not going to try and say no one watching this video could be an F1 driver. The average person such as myself, you couldn't be an F1 driver. Sure, I know Sergio Perez is struggling quite a bit. Lance Stroll is, well, Lance Stroll. You might know what to do, you might know how it's done, but can you do it? But yeah, no one here, F1 driver. If you want to see more racing on track, not by myself, but by someone who can actually drive, check out Dom Economy. And big thank you for PROKARTS Racing Team for helping us out with this incredible machinery that we've driven here today. You can also check them out in the description below. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more in real life content, make sure you hit a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. For now, this is the end of my career. Maybe I'll have to revisit it soon. Thanks guys for watching.